are live, and we have three guests today for that very special replay commentary. You can now present yourself, first guest on the top of the chain.
Hey everyone, it's Kantbei. So I'm finally back from my short break from Global League. I'm a somewhat high-rated fog player, and I'm primarily known for like playing really fast and playing really stupid openings.
That's the best intro ever, man. I like that intro. So, coming next,
Oh,
are you
really?
still
Already?
alive?
Okay. Hi. Yep, I'm alive. Hi. I'm sorry. How's it going, guys and gals? This is Advanced Warrior here. I have been with Multi-Topic Talk, Master Kantbei before, a lot of collabs, a lot of streams. I do my own Advanced Wars by Web content, some live plays, and recently it's been a lot of replay commentaries. As for ratings, I am not somewhere up there with these two titans that I'm sandwiched in between the chains, so please don't crush me. Uh, I just passed the 900 rating, so I'm like somewhere in the top 300, which is less impressive compared to the other two.
Rating means nothing, but these are really good. Even if I just said that, like, I know you're a good player as well, just like them. So we can now go to the last guest we got tonight. Just like them.
Hello, everyone. I'm Go7, the king of the penguins. I'm the number one rated player in the world. Number one in Fog of War, number five in Standard. I've actually declared war on the Standard. So if I reach number one in Standard and win the Standard Discord tournament, which I'm currently in the finals for, I will declare Standard conquered and I will annex it in the name of Fog of War. When that happens, Standard shall be called Fogless, and Fog of War shall be called Standard.
Fuck
Uh,
this.
Welcome
Oh
to the
my
future. This is inevitable.
So here we are, a very colorful one. I like your intro. That's like the best intro ever. And Kanbai has also
uh,
an amazing intro. And Advance Warrior
if you
as well.
guys if you guys don't mind, I'm gonna tag all of us to announce our stream, all right?
Yeah, you
All right,
can
go
do
for it.
so. And now we need to go here. Oh, it's not there. It's here. Here we are. You have mouse control, Kanbai, right?
Um, I believe I have control.
Yep. So you will control the pacing of the stream. Because
I guess before we start,
oh yeah, yeah, you're
the
right.
te- the teams, the teams, the
Yeah,
teams.
I
Yeah.
well you direct well that replay. I completely forgot. So if
Uh,
you want, you can explain how we decided of the teams.
all right. So since me and Master Kambei are kind of on the same level, as same for Go7 Kantbei on the higher end, we kind of decided that we would have each team would have one top player and one amateur. On each, I have been privileged to be on Kantbai's team, and Master Kantbai has also had the privilege to be with Go7. And me and Kantbei are on the top right side, while Master Kambei and Go7 are on the bottom left side. And yeah, it's just the way we had our bases and our HQ set up were pretty interesting because it allowed for me to go up against Master Kambei and Go7 to go up against Kantbei. So it was really interesting how the battle turned out between the skill levels of all of us.
Okay, that's very good. So now let's speak about the seal choices, and I will let this time around let Go7 or Kantbai explain. Well, Kantbai, you can explain why you picked Eagle and Vumble for your team, and then we will go over to why Go7 chose double Kindle.
Right. So the first thing to note here is like a lot of COs were actually banned. So like we decided on like no Sasha, no tier zero COs, no mass damage. So um, like from the top picks, right? You usually have like Eagle, Von Bolt. I think Max was also up there. I'm not too sure. But looking at the map, I quickly realized, there are like 4 bases on the mainland, and then additional 2 bases on the islands per team, right? So that's 12 bases in the map total. Based on like how small the map is, like I realized there was no way this isn't going to stall somehow. So a late game CO would be really strong. So that's why like I chose Eagle. And then the only weakness of like an eagle, right? Like if you go eagle ditto, right? Double eagle, is if they pick something like double one bolt. And that would be perhaps too much pressure that they can't stall in time. So if you hedge your bets and get like one aggressive CO like one bolt and then a late game CO like eagle, you're pretty much covered against any CO pick that they do. So it's fairly standard in like team games to do this kind of setup.
That's very good reasons. And now you can go ahead Go7 with why did you pick double Kindle?
Sure. So initially, I also thought Eagle and Von Bolt would be the best combination, but then I saw that they were going to pick that, so I decided to choose different COs so we wouldn't just have a mirror. And
What's wrong
I
with a
went with
mirror match?
I ate them.
oh, there's nothing wrong with a mirror match, but
I ate mirror
it's more
match.
fun.
There's no point of that. And just like Go7, it's there's no fun. Go Days of Throne if you
How
want
am I
mirror match.
friends? How am I friends with this guy? Honestly.
Um, and so I chose double Kindle for us because that's the closest thing to mass damage there is, and it's just really, really annoying to deal with.
Oh my god.
That's a really good reason.
Being on the receiving end of that.
And because we have back-to-back turns, I figured that like I could do a CO power, and then that would set up Master Kantbei to do a follow-up CO power, which would be 6 damage to everything on properties, and then Master Kantbei would be able to fully utilize that in any attack.
I thought we didn't allow mass damage COs.
But I don't think that ever actually happened.
Kindle is not really mass damage. She's focus damage. She's like Rachel at some extent. So it's not that bad. It's not like double Olaf or
Yeah.
double Drake.
It's just the closest thing we got.
Yeah. So we got in the
Another
chat.
like
Red Halo saying,
I don't
I
know if you
love
guys
mirror match.
I don't know if you guys ever considered like a double racial pick. Now that I'm thinking about it, like I think it has some potential. Like you use
Oh,
one
yeah.
racial to just spam, and then the other one just potentially holds their power in so that you can't like counterattack really well.
That could have been good, yeah.
Like the first missile is gonna get wasted, like that's for sure because of like the 4 landers. But like every
Yeah.
subsequent one is gonna hurt a lot.
Yeah, that's why I didn't do it, because of the landers.
That's a good strat. So now, speaking about the map, I actually picked the first map that I was like, oh, that one looks cool for 2v2. So I want to know feedback from the other guest. Starting with Kantbei, what is your feeling toward this map?
Yeah, so like I said earlier, I think this map just completely stalls. And also like if your opponent wants to play persistently, even though they might be on the back end, it's really hard to close out this game. Because the HQ is only vulnerable in like the first 10 turns. Afterwards, it's very, very hard to siege with the correct composition. It's also very easy for you to reinforce the HQ with like rockets from the base. So it's very hard to make progress really and like play for more advantage even with advantage.
This is very good to know. So now, coming to Advanced Warrior, how do you feel about that map?
You're asking me, a guy who can't even make my own maps, about how I feel about this map.
You played it? You played it?
Well, it's hard for me to say I hate maps because usually if I feel like I hate a map, that just means I suck. But yeah, it reminds me a little bit of OK Azama, which I do kind of like, but there's just a lot of action that you would see happening in the middle rather than the top left or the bottom right corners because it gets a little thin in the middle, and that's usually where all 4 of the armies meet. But I do kind of like that you do have like the other army trying to protect the teammates' HQ. It really does show how much value there is with the teamwork. And one thing that I did find interesting on this map is that it's a 2v2 map, but each side only has one comm tower. So it does add another layer of strategy of like which CO from your team benefits from having the comm tower. And I'm pretty sure eventually you will see what me and Kantbei went for. But I don't hate the map. It can get a little choky in the middle, but I still had a good time here.
That's very good to know. Now, Go7, how do you feel
Yeah.
about that map?
Well, I think it's definitely way too small for the number of bases that it has. So, definitely going to stall if people want to stall, or maybe even if they don't want to. But I do like the landers and all of this like ocean area that you can use. That's pretty cool. The back properties I feel like are kind of unutilized. I feel like that should be like contested land, maybe more towards the in between the two
That sounds
sides.
great.
Because
like
as is, you just kind of drop 2 infantry and get all
like
these great properties.
like where the bases are on the sides, that's where you want those corner islands to be, by the
Yeah,
HQs.
yeah, like a little bit past the HQs, like where there's all those reefs.
So,
Yeah.
now, let's speak about Team Dynamic now. I will start up with mine for once. Uh, to be honest, it was out of pride, and I was like, I want to learn, I want to improve by doing that replay commentary after the game. So I will not ask too much for Go7. I just let Go7 choose our CEO, and I was like, I'm listening, of course. If Go7 had something to do, I was listening. But I wasn't asking like what should I do and stuff like that because I was like I need to learn, and if I just keep asking I just rely too much on Go7, and I want to learn on my own, but that's just me. And I know it's not really a good team dynamic, so I'm part of guilty of not really working as a team, and I am sorry, Go7, if you didn't really like it. I just wanted to
No worries.
place it out there. um, I was open for suggestion, and of course, when you spoke about directing the Ex Machina to the place where you spoke about, you know what I'm talking about. I did listen to you, and that's
Sure.
funny because at that moment you shared it in the comment chat, so the other teams didn't see it. And I was like,
Oh
why?
my
That
god.
was
What
a
is
mistake,
going
but yeah,
on?
it was good.
Huge misplay coming from Go7.
It worked
But
out though. You were like delaying that power and like
yeah.
Huge
But
misplay.
regardless, next time I may try another way and learn on the game during the game as the game keeps going, because of course if guys are willing to, we will do another game like that in another day, another time. If guys are into it, we will do it again, but we will mix up the teams if guys are still into it and interested, because I think the idea of this replay commentary is amazing. We get two top players and two good players, but not top. We are obviously not top players.
900s.
Learning from top players. So if guys are still open to the idea, we will do that in the future again. Because I did like my time a lot. That was a lot of fun to chat. Kantbei and Go7 exchanging words. That was a very funny and entertaining
Oh
exchange.
my god. Sorry, guys, we can't show you. It was way too graphic. The chat was way too graphic.
Okay.
Here I am, putting my penguin tanks on this island and then resting in the forest when out of nowhere a whole army tries to kill me. Go 7 2022.
I'm minding my own business. I don't know.
Yeah.
So, now I spoke about my team dynamic. Now, if you want to share something in team dynamic Go7, since you were my teammate, you can
Oh,
now
sure.
speak the way you have seen that team battle and how you were thinking and what you were thinking. Like, speak about like the game in general, how you felt we were as a team.
Um, well, our team play wasn't great, but that's okay my philosophy for team games like this, when you have one player that's way better than the other, is that you just kind of play and let people learn and have fun. 'Cause if I just take control and like tell the other player what to do with everything, that's basically just me playing two players. So for my philosophy for these, it's mostly just let my other teammate do whatever they like and try and support them as I can, unless they are actively hindering me, like if they capture my harbor or something like that.
Are you hinting at something, Go7? Are you hinting at something?
Okay, I
In
must
that case,
admit,
I'll speak up and be like, "That's I
I
do
must
need my harbor."
admit, we are not there yet. But at some point, I was just capping like by reflex, and then I realized I was capping e-sport, so I decided
What
to
the
go Go
fuck?
I was like, what am I doing? I'm about to steal a sport.
Don't worry, that wasn't the worst thing that you'll see in this replay. I promise you.
Uh, Pearson, the volume is maximum for like pretty much everyone. The difference is my microphone is probably just better, or I should say louder. It's not better, it's just louder, that's the thing. But the voices are basically the biggest they can be. So I'm very sorry if you have hard time hearing the other voices. I will just take a look to the OBS, but I'm pretty sure it's like maxed out. Yeah, it's maxed out. So
How about
Who's quiet?
what if you lower us? I think they said like your voice is the lowest.
maybe, but here again, if it's the case, it's because of my microphone, and my microphone is kind of shit. But
It's just an idea. You could maybe
um,
lower us.
person, do you hear me clearly? I am the host. Do you hear me clearly? Or
I mean, we could wait for a response, but at the same time, we could also like
yeah.
proceed with
Okay, so
the
Go7, what
stream.
you were saying, we are not over yet, and I want to add something up before you keep going with the team dynamic. I like a lot your philosophy, and that's great. I'd rather have someone that doesn't tell too much than someone that tells too much, you know? So I think your philosophy was great. Now, of course, in future game, when we will end up in the same team, if you're willing to, because it's by far not the last time we will be in team. Maybe a bit more tips, but not too much. I did like your
Sure.
philosophy, though. I totally agree with your philosophy, but maybe next time around you could give a bit more tips here and there. Not too much, as you said. If you give away too much, it's like you playing two players. Oh, okay, that's me, person. Okay, so that was basically me. I will try to speak louder like that. I don't break your ears, follow guest.
You actually sound good. It's a
I
lot
actually
better.
sound good. Okay. Um, I guess we will do it like that. So yeah. Now Go7. You
Yeah.
can close that that team dynamic we started speaking about, and then we will move on to Kantbei and Advanced Warrior.
Oh God.
I think I think overall it went pretty well. We had some good teamwork in the middle,
Yep.
and then I did my best not to let your HQ fall. I tried. Many
That's fine.
penguins gave their lives.
For astronauts. Can we get off? Can we get off OBS and onto the game? FYI.
Yeah. Sorry about
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So wrong thing here. Here
Wrong,
we
wrong
are.
browser.
So Team dynamic between Kantbei and Advanced Warrior, starting with Kantbei and then Advanced Warrior if you want to add more and more.
I think we played pretty well together. There's obviously like a lot of things to talk about in these team games. So for people who aren't familiar, like in the early game, especially for maps like this, where you have like some choices regarding like who gets the com tower, who gets what cities. In the early game, a lot of it is like figuring out how do we split that. Towards the middle, like we talked a lot about like tactics and what certain move orders and like how certain attacks can be done, how we're going to be mixing our units in the center so that we're covering each other. But I think I was a bit more micromanagey than perhaps Go7 and Master Kantbei's team. But generally, like my philosophy is to like let him do his own thing until I feel like I need to step in to maybe preserve the position, or if I feel like something is about to go terribly wrong, then I will tell him like I think you might have to do X and Y, right? But in general, like yeah, I try to keep my advice more towards the strategic side rather than the tactical side. Just telling him like, okay, I think we need to play in this area of the map, and you need to pull back somewhere else. But trying to avoid giving him like every possible move that he could be doing.
I like it a lot. Guys are amazing as teammates when it comes to having a bit weaker player on your side. I like both approach. These are amazing, and this tells me we are having a blast right now, and we had a blast as we were playing. So, what are your thoughts, Advanced Warrior?
I think Kantbei might have probably what's the word I'm looking for? Like oversold me. I think I was like the slowest player out of the four of us here because there was a lot of things that I was trying to figure out as well. Hopefully, like yeah, a lot some micromanaging stuff. Like in the middle of games, like there are two cities in front of our HQ, and I was like, is that something I should take, like both or maybe one, as well as the cities in the back? So there was some conversation with those back cities as well, and then there was the idea of what units we should produce and where they should be positioned. What's possibly in the fog that could probably mess up our turn. Um, yeah, like if we should base skip or not, which I know you hate a lot, Master Kanbei. But I think definitely Kantbai had control of our team. But so yeah, I believe Kantbai deserves a whole lot of credit when it came to how we played. Although I was really pushing the idea of the Ex Machina on a certain turn.
Okay, that's
I was
very good to know.
I was like Kantbai, I want to do it. I want to do it. We'll see when we get there because with so many different units that we're going to be fighting, Ex Machina definitely shows up.
That's really good to know that. That's amazing. Now, before we move any further, is there anything else anyone would like to add? And keep in mind, Kantbai is in charge and control of the mouse.
Anything we'd like to add? Um, why'd you guys go double Kindle?
I
That was
said
so
I said why.
that was so annoying. Like I'm usually not annoyed when I play Kindle, but this was just yeah. Let's just move on. Let's just play. Can't buy. We're ready.
Cities are lava.
Cities are lava. 100%.
So here
All
we
right,
are.
so turn one. Yeah, I think it's just gonna be a bunch of like infantry moves, right?
Yeah.
Well, and landers.
Yeah, just I think fairly normal lander moves. Um, I would say like it's curious to move Master Kanbai's lander towards the island, considering like there's nothing there. Like there's nothing that can load into it. But I don't think it matters a whole lot. What do you think, Go7?
Um, it doesn't matter a ton. I mean, you definitely in your case you can split up your inventory across the map faster by having one in each lander. Is what I assume you're going to do. And then for Advanced Warrior and myself, we do need to set up our landers more accurately so that we can do the faster transition across the little island to get to our bases a turn earlier.
Yeah, it was a little tricky for us considering that we only had two spots where we could put our landers, and the closer tile we actually want to capture for obviously repairs and income. It was like a very small window for us to put our landers in. So we had to figure out like when we're capturing the port and when we're going to keep that lander off that port.
So
That's fair.
that's good. That's good.
All right, so Master Kantbei goes for the neutral base immediately, which is pretty standard. I think like he should have brought this other lander back here potentially. Like even if you're not gonna make use of it, it just is never gonna do anything here, right? Because it's gonna take like 2 turns for this to finish capturing anyway.
Yeah.
So it's just like, gonna be sitting there. And I'm always a fan of like even if you don't think you're gonna use it, to move your units in such a way that you keep your options as open as possible, so you don't have to commit until the very last second. That might just be because I'm really indecisive as a person, but also because like you might change your mind, right? Because in fog, like you never know what you're gonna see.
Yeah.
So yeah, and like Go7 said, I do end up like splitting my units, and just going very very far forward with them. Because I realized like this map was gonna stall. I just went in thinking like, okay, I don't need to worry about these close properties. They're never gonna get contested anyway. But whoever gets like these forward properties first probably holds on to them for a really long time. Especially like if you build the things that I'm thinking of. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna do something really, really stupid and the thing that we tell people never to do in Global League. But I'm gonna rush the forward properties and ignore everything close by for now.
Well, this
Okay.
This
ain't
is definitely
exactly
my map
Global
before.
League.
That's interesting. So this is why you spoke about risky openings.
Yes. And then I think Go7 is doing more or less the same thing as
Yeah.
Advanced Warrior. It's somewhat, yeah, it's a mirrored opening actually.
Yeah, if you
Okay.
don't do that, then you get your neutral base a day later, which would be bad.
Oh wait, I did a move the same as Go7.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, you did the exact same thing he did.
I'm
Like
hopping
it's
back on Global League, guys. I'm gonna rush to the top.
I think you can climb in the 1000 without any trouble, Advanced Warrior.
Are you trying to jinx me?
No, that's true. I really believe it.
I think
I shut up if I don't believe something.
I think it was around this turn that like we started talking in chat and I was saying like I think I see an HQ cheese, but I'm not gonna do it for content's sake.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Thank you very
Basically
much.
like the idea was like from turn one, you just start spamming like recons, maybe like 2 inf, right? And then after that, you just start spamming recons. The thing is, like the recon from here looks really far from the HQ, but that's kind of like a deception, right? Because
Yeah.
it has 8 move, and most of these are shoals. It can get here in like 3 turns, I believe. Like it takes 2 turns to get somewhere here, and 3 turns to get here. Combined with like the lander and like getting 2 infantry, and the fact that there are pipe seams, right, blocking off the HQ. If someone is unprepared for it and they don't build like any artillery, this HQ can fall really really fast. So like I didn't do it, number one because like it's gonna be boring content, right?
Yeah.
The second thing is that I was kind of sure Go7 would know how to answer it because like I didn't like he usually plays just risky enough that cheeses don't work, but never so conservatively that you can predict what he does. So that's like one of his greatest strengths as a farm player.
Wahahaha.
I do want to point out. I'm pretty sure that this was very much a standard map, not a fog map.
I think as well. Looking back, I think.
But hey, it's still made for a very interesting game. I'm not underselling that.
Yeah.
Okay, so Advanced Wire goes for the neutral base. I think Go7 will probably do the same thing here.
Now, I do want to mention something. My infantry that I moved to the forest, it is in range of capturing all three of those cities. And this was at the point where I was communicating with Kantbei, and I'm like, all right, do you get like one of these cities, or can I just have like my one infantry just capture chain both of them? And then it also brought in the discussion of like what's near him about that com tower. There were two ideas. One, if I have the com tower, I am able to kill healthy units with infantry and tanks on cities. But Kentbai pulled back the idea and said that we're going up against Kindle. So trying to attack a Kindle on a city definitely uh, would have hurt, even with my plus 10% defense. So I did scrap that idea. The other idea was is that Kantbei can get the com tower, so the entire team overall has plus 10% attack, and it also benefits Kantbei more with his superpower playing as Eagle.
That's interesting insight. That's very appreciated. Anything else to say, Go7, about what Advanced Warrior just said?
No, I think that's fair. We didn't really have to have that decision because we're both Kindle. So,
Give it to the guy who carries the team.
no, I just let him have it 'cause it's on his side.
Fair.
That's fair.
That's fair.
The other thing, right, is like I realized this quite late into the game actually, but Master Kanbei and myself are actually the player who is going to be forced to play aggressive. So that's kind of like why the com tower is on our side of the map. You need the com tower if you want to like attack, right? Because like otherwise you fail about a bunch of 2-hit KOs and it's really hard to play.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right, so
for Go7 and Master Kanbai, it didn't really matter a whole lot, but for me and Kantbai, we actually were deciding who gets which base, and I kind of got the. It's not exactly the most forward base, but it is a little bit closer to the middle, and yeah, because I'm Font Bolt, I can be more aggressive, so that's why I have the position on the top side of the map.
So I did open up with a artillery because I like indirect, and I feel like this map will be an indirect fest.
Oh,
Yeah.
definitely.
Am I right?
it's
Let's see.
that's definitely true.
On that.
Yeah.
I think it's correct. I do think like you could have been way greedier by delaying your indirect for like another turn. Because if you get like an indirect from like your island base, it will more or less arrive maybe in this area about the same time as if you built it a turn earlier, but from this base. Um, and it kind of ends up being the same, but you'll have more forward infantry, right? So you can play more aggressively, like with your captures. If you get an infantry hit by like a recon, it doesn't hurt as bad. There's a bunch of things like that. But overall, like I think artillery is going to be really, really decent on this map.
Yeah,
And there's
artillery are
a
also.
there's a second reason. You spoke about HQ cheese, and I realized how exposed the HQ was. So I was like, let's have that artillery going just in case.
Something else to bring up: artillery are also one of the better units to start breaking the pipe seams with,
Yeah.
which is something that Can't Buy brought up a lot when it came to which pipe seams to break.
Based on this map, I am wondering, is Grim a good thing because he can blow up the pipe seam right out any tower?
I mean, if you're trying to cheese, then yeah. Speaking of cheese, I put my lander there just in case you go for something like super aggressive, but it's a kind of a flaw in my play style is the lack of intuition what the enemy could do. I don't know at this point in the game if there was like an APC or a lander that could rush right where the HQ is, and I didn't have the mental capacity to figure that out, so I just put it there for safekeeping.
It's fair.
I think intuition is a really good skill to have in Advanced Wars.
Yeah.
I think I
I
might
think
do
like
something similar.
I think like the artillery should just answer any kind of HQ cheese, right? Because like this artillery can get to this city in 1 turn. In 2 turns, it can get here, and then it just locks the HQ anyway. And like if you have an artillery pointed at it, I don't think any variation of the cheese that I'm thinking of can actually capture the HQ.
You'd need like 4 infantry, 2
Yeah,
landers fill.
you need at least like 3. I think maybe 4. Kind of depend. I guess against Von Bolt it would be like 4, but against like a normal CO it would be 3. But yeah, it's
Yeah.
just really hard. I don't think you can get any timing that's good for it.
Yeah. Honestly, speaking of that city, Kindle's artillery for trying to break that pipe seam actually isn't so terrible.
Yeah,
Yeah, Kindle
especially with
artillery
that
can
building.
break it in 2. Yeah, I think she's like no Lash can also do it. So it's Kindle, Lash, and Grim are the only 3 COs who can 2-shot a pipe seam.
On that
Uh,
specific tile.
Lash? Are
And
you
Kanbei.
sure
Yeah,
about Lash?
Lash has
yeah.
plus 30.
Oh, you're
You only
right.
need
You're
130
right.
attack.
You're right.
Yeah.
So Kindle, Lash, Grim, and Kanbei.
What got me
Yes.
confused was Assassin Map because Kindle is so much better than Lash and Assassin Map.
I got that map on Global League and Kindle was banned. I was upset.
Yeah,
No
they banned her
shit,
from
it's
tier 3.
banned.
And I think it's already been proven. Like Kindle can actually compete in tier 2 there. Like I beat Tordred there, one of my rare wins against him, using Kindle into like Olaf. So Kindle is actually not that bad in tier 2.
A Kindle should be tier 2, and I think it would
I
bring
disagree.
another life to the game in general because I feel like there's like 2 picks in tier 2, but that's at least in the 900s, and it's like Eagle and Olaf, but Olaf is like 67% chance of getting him.
Yeah, Max is very aggressive. Olaf is like somewhere in the middle. Hey, what are you doing with that port?
I was so sad.
I was like building, must capture building. But then on my
I like
next turn, I realized, oh, that should be Go7 building. So I built
it
You delay
stopped
his
my
capture by a
lander from
turn.
picking up my infantry and everything. So I'm like
Oh man.
delayed again the tiny city. It's,
Now I feel less bad for being so clingy with Kantbai's advice.
it's okay though.
Yeah, it's okay. I mean, I do something worse later on. Trust me. I don't even know. I don't even know if Kantbai knows what I'm talking about. But I was
I don't
so
think
embarrassed by a certain move.
Do you stand on his airport or something?
No, you'll see. You'll see.
wow.
Yeah, this was not a perfect game, but you could tell we all enjoyed it.
We are the best teammates Go7 and Kanbai can dream of.
We are the best content creators. I remember Kantbai was advising that I start blasting the pipe seam that is diagonal to the HQ.
yeah, it's this one. So on like Go7 side, it would be this pipe seam. Yeah. So
And
the reason I said that right is because again, like the HQ is so vulnerable. In the mid game, like even if you don't do an early game cheese, in the mid game, like your push is just naturally going to go to the HQ. If you don't break the seam, you instantly lose. Like I don't know how you can defend it because you need to like hold this choke point, right?
yeah.
If you lose control of this choke point, you just break in, and then your airport's gonna fall. Your HQ probably maybe doesn't fall, but losing the airport really hurts because then this airport loses this space, which
Yeah.
loses the city, and then like your whole backline is vulnerable. Like it's really bad strategically.
Well, the only thing about all that you said is that isn't my HQ. But yeah, you're my teammate, so of course I definitely prioritize protecting your HQ. You also said maybe the south pipe seam as well underneath the HQ. That was a
um,
maybe.
yeah. So basically, my thought process there was like you want to break this pipe seam if you're the defender, and this pipe seam if you're the aggressor. But also like breaking the pipe seam here depends on like who controls this area. So I was assuming at that point like you'd probably control this area. So like if you break this seam, then your army here and your army here is just one army. It's not split up, right? But if
Yeah.
you only break this seam, then you have two separate armies, and then they can kind of like concentrate their army and maybe crush one small part, and then not really crush the one in the HQ. It's really hard, but like it's losing a lot of units for free, right? Like your units aren't coordinated. Um, but yeah, like all that advice was like completely conditional on like you actually controlling this area, which, as it turned out, was not always true throughout the game.
Yeah, another thing that went to my head was like airport accessibility with the rest of the army. And I tried to let that infantry do the capture chain and try to get an infantry to control one of the center properties, which I feel like there are only 2 or 4 contested properties, and they're like basically in the middle of the map. So I wanted to get like at least one of them so we could at the very least be even. Oh man, that poor infantry. Go7, how do you feel?
That was very sad.
Uh,
I've seen your message. I was like, oh, did I really do that? And then I realized I did that. Like, what
you
the
I was
heck?
like, if he finishes that capture, I can't refuel my landers. They'll eventually.
there's
I'll have to build
there's
an
good
APC.
there's good
Absolutely
autopilot there's good autopilot and there's bad autopilot.
just build an EPC to
Yeah,
refuel
Bro,
your standards.
You'll be fine.
no, just build a black boat, bro. Oh wait, you can't build
I
a black
can't.
boat. You can't build a black boat. Advanced Wars. Just add an air unit that could supply. Oh
Okay,
man.
curious. So I think Master Kanbai actually loaded a recon into this lander, right? I think that's a mistake. You just want to like rush the recon out towards this corner. The lander really doesn't accelerate the recon anyway. I think like if you use the lander and you just let the recon walk, it'll arrive at the exact same time. Maybe even like earlier. So like, there's no point to this. It's just wasting a move.
He was
Also,
trying
like,
to he was
I
trying to prevent back capture cheese.
I really don't know what I was thinking. I was autopiloting and I was like, wow. Okay, that's very good response, Kantbei. Thank you very much. And I totally agree, 100%. That was the autopilot doing autopilot stuff.
I did not realize that you had a recon in that lander. I was like, it's kind of weird you dropped out just a single infantry back.
It's a single image. Master
think
Kanbai, Master Kanbai, this game does not have bikes. This isn't Days of Ruin.
Thank God it's
what might
not.
have
I
been
want my seal power.
what might have been going on through Master Kanbai's head is that he thought he was fighting Go7, so his recon would be
Oh no!
50% Go7's infantry. I mean, it makes a lot of sense. Like, he's sending his infantry to contest the one port contested between them. He has his army pointed at his infantry. Like, it makes so much sense.
It is very menacing.
God.
How to not work in
It's
team,
very
guys.
kindly you got off of
This
it.
is how we do.
Doesn't Cobalt Ice have a rivalry with Black Hole or something like that?
They-
Is
they
this something
do.
in the Advance Wars wiki?
Maybe.
Uh,
We will create
Yeah,
This
like
is-
the
if not.
penguins are like a black hole experiment or something like that.
Yeah.
yeah, because literally the HQ is one of the crystals that drain the land on the Dual Strike campaign.
Yep.
And as for back cities, I think we agreed to split it 4-5, favoring Kantbei.
Yeah, so the reason we did that is because I was basically thinking I'm Eagle, so like I will make use of the income way better than Von Bolt will, just because of like how our superpowers work, right? The other thing is like Von Bolt will have an easier time taking forward cities than Eagle will because of the +10 defense.
Would
That's
you
basically it.
would you have considered changing it, like maybe a 3-6, or is 4-5 good enough?
I think 4 to 5 is good enough, especially considering like I'm the aggressive CO anyway, and well, I mean like my position right is like I'm going to be the aggressive player. My CO isn't aggressive.
Yeah.
And then you are basically like never gonna get these cities. I think in hindsight, I
Yeah.
thought maybe you could contest it, but now that we played the game, I think like these two just never belong to you. It's just too hard to break in unless someone misplays.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
That's
I
why.
tried to get those cities on my side, but it did not work out.
Yeah, that's why I said there's like only 2 to 4 maybe contested properties, and yeah, it was those 2 cities by the shoals.
Yeah, it's like the two cities by the shoals, maybe the airport, slightly contested in the mid game, and then these two in the center, right? And
Yeah,
that's really all you can do progress wise until you kill a base.
unless you're rank 700, you count the labs as contested properties.
I mean, they give vision.
They give vision, 1 tile of vision. I hate to bring up Days of Ruin so much, but properties do give you 2 tiles of vision in Days of Ruin. That would have been lovely for the labs to do. People would actually capture them.
So for those of you wondering, like Advanced Warrior did end up shooting this pipe team. That's why his artillery didn't move.
It's in the perfect position to shoot the 1 pipe seam I prioritized.
And then I
Hey.
believe, yeah, at this point, like Go7 and Master Kanbai had declared like peace. So as part of that settlement, Go7 will be getting support.
I think that was a mistake though, because penguins can already swim.
They should. They should. I vote for a new change. Cobalt
Oh,
Ice should be the
hold
only
on, hold on.
faction that
Oh,
can walk on water.
okay, tank. Okay, tank on the island base. Hold up, hold
Yeah.
up. I want answers. Go 7.
Well, I wanted to secure my forest artillery that's going to show up. However, this isn't going to work out great. But also,
Forced artillery. You're gonna loop that artillery around the pipe seam.
yeah,
Honestly, if
on
Kantbei didn't rush a Raycon, that is possible. Honestly, you could also like boost the artillery
well,
with
no,
your lander.
the yeah that forest.
Oh, that forest. Okay, I thought you talked about the one by the HQ.
No,
It's
I can drop an artillery over there.
Oh, I see why.
But
Okay.
it's better to build your vehicles on the front line. Like if I'm
Uh,
building vehicles on the back here, then my income isn't affecting the fight nearly as quickly. Unfortunately, I'm going to be dropping directly into artillery fire. But
I mean, you don't know that. That to be fair, you do not know that
yeah,
yet.
that's true. It's true.
We have had no
I
we have
like
had
that
no
idea.
contact.
Go 7. That's cool. I was like, that's not usual. Usually that island served for infantry creation, but you actually had a tank, which is very interesting, and your thought process behind it, I like it a lot.
I did consider base skipping a few times because it can get a little compact inside that little pipe seam area.
I think I remember
A
seeing
little bit.
Go 7 base skipping. I think. Am I right?
Did I
Go
base? I don't.
Oh,
I
so
might
if
have.
Cool.
Go 7 base skips, you're
I
fine. But if
think
I
maybe I'm
base skip,
wrong.
you get angry.
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. That's I think this
I
happened
might
at
have.
some
I
point.
mean, base skipping on these back bases would be fine. It's so congested that like you just have trails of infantry backed up anyway.
I try to treat this as like a base light game.
This map is basically like one of the rare examples where base skipping is fine because usually like in most global league maps, right? You're never gonna have enough bases so that you can quickly saturate the map. But once the map gets saturated, it's about active unit count. It's not about like total unit count necessarily. So in this map, because it gets saturated so quickly, it actually doesn't matter if you stop building infantry every other turn or something, because the infantry are not really gonna be able to do anything anyway. Like they're all just gonna line up in like a big conga line, and no one's gonna be able to like move forward.
Yeah.
I also notice turn 7, me and Go haven't gone for that single city island yet.
I would have. But my lander
Oh, that's right.
so now
That's
my
right.
lander has to spend extra turns getting there.
Bro, you could have just swam and gotten there in like 2 days.
I know. I like your little grid pattern of infantry.
Yeah. Uh, I was just thinking like I'm gonna treat this like a chessboard, and like all my infantries are like bishops.
They're all jamming to Eagles' badass theme. Da-na-na-na-na-na-da-da-da. Although I think in a dancing competition, Go Seven's units are probably the best.
It's true. It's true.
they're all they're like step by step. Oh baby! All right, so my recon is a bit exposed on that shoal tile, but it was just to get vision, and I noticed that you haven't yet gone for. That's actually you will get that city next turn. So I take that back. And I built a recon on the top. I guess it was to see what Master Kantbei was going to try to do with that top side, because I have a very important task to try to defend that HQ.
It's very quiet suddenly. What is
Yeah,
At
it
this
going
is very.
point,
on?
like Go7, were you just gonna thinking? Were you just thinking of taking like all these cities in the back?
Yeah.
Hey, it's the 6-3 split I was talking about earlier.
Well, if he's not sending infantry back here, someone's got to capture them.
so much for the peace treaty.
I don't get them all. I think we do. We do
The
a
4 to
5-4
5.
split. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And that's funny because I still end up having more building than him for some reason. I don't know
That's
how. I
just because
don't
your
know
side
why.
of the map has more stuff.
Oh, okay. We actually could have seen this artillery.
You did see it.
I think. Yeah, I didn't see it. I didn't look at the replay. So like we were talking about like should he take a recon hit here, like when it's advanced warrior's turn.
Mhm.
And I don't think either of us bothered to watch the replay. So like we thought it was just a safe, and like we're just debating like whether we hit this infantry or the backwards infantry.
I'm sorry. I get home at midnight. Okay.
Look, I didn't bother looking at it as well. I have like 40 gaming going right now. And I have a reduced number because the maps are shit in Global League right now.
Uh,
I did.
yeah.
I don't really have an excuse. I didn't watch it because I'm just lazy like that. Like I try to avoid watching replays until I feel like I have to. And like at this point, like, I didn't think Go would build an artillery. I don't know why I thought that actually, because in hindsight, like, Go does a bunch of crazy builds. I should have expected it.
I thought about rocket first. I mean,
I left work, got in my car, and then all of a sudden, Kantbei sends me a screenshot of the move planner, which is honestly not bad, but the move planner was a bit tricky in fog, so I think that's why I kind of had the second recon on the top.
yeah, I did
Yeah,
not
so
expect that artillery to be in that forest. So forward.
That actually is not a bad spot. Unless we decide to attack the infantry from the south, then it becomes a problem.
Well, if I could have secured that spot just a little bit more, then it would have been really good.
Yeah. So I think this is when we start some engagements.
yeah, so this is like the first engagement of the game, I believe. If I remember correctly, you hit this forward infantry with the recon. And I remember thinking at that time, like there might be a tank covering this one, but there probably isn't a tank covering this one, just based on like the base distances. But all of that like presuppose you'd be building tanks from here rather than like building tanks on an island and then ferrying them with a boat. Hello.
It's the fastest way.
It consolidates with the artillery. It consolidates with the artillery. But yeah, it's a kind of in a predicament here. Personally, it's like if we attack the right infantry, we probably could already get that. Oh, it looks like I do go for it though. Oh my god, Kindle on a city, just chip damage on the recon. I'm
Against on
sad.
bolt too.
So
Put
I've
it
got a
down.
question before we go further. Advanced Warrior, why did you attack from there and not here? Because if you were there, You could have gotten vision over that artillery. So why here?
Well, as we said, me and Kantbei neither bothered to look at the replay, and I kind of blame Kantbei because he knows Ghost 7 better than me. I'm just kidding, but
But as I
but
said,
it's a
it
it
doesn't
is
matter
a
of
it,
replay, just in terms of general strat. Like
I mean,
why that's out instead of this one, even if
it's a
you don't know.
possibility I could have gotten trapped.
Oh, I
It's a
see.
possibility I could have gotten trapped, but yeah, my idea was that I at least want to be a little bit closer to Kantbai's army because yeah, something can go ahead and attack that recon, but something that I always think about playing Advanced Wars is counterplay. And as you can see, although there's a bunch of infantry, there's at least one tank there, and if Go 7 does go for a recon hit with the tank. Kantbai has the necessary units to counter it. Maybe unless he decides to pull that infantry off and attack from the city.
I see. That's a good explanation.
But yeah, unit coverage, very important thing to do in Advanced Wars, and it was just a lot more safer to attack from the north side rather than the west side.
Yeah. If you're assuming tanks, this is always just going to be safer. It's just farther from the bases, right? So like it's less likely that a tank can reach this because again, like there's a forest here,
Yeah.
which is two movement, right? From here, like you can attack from here, and then there's like some tactics where the infantry moves forward and you can wall around it, and it makes it like a relatively free hit. But again, like if you saw the artillery, then you're correct. Like hitting from this tile would be obviously more correct.
Yeah.
Because of like, the artillery timing, you can reverse calculate it to assume like there's probably no tank that can cover this artillery.
Yeah.
I think like this is actually like really interesting. The fact that Go7 decided to go for the recon kill rather than finish his capture on the
It
city.
would be good in single player. It's probably a really bad mistake in multiplayer.
Why? I want
Go
more
Seven's
explanation.
just
I'm bugged out.
Go Seven's just trying to save the world from pollution, so he shot a car.
Well,
The
in
penguins are
sing
dying.
yeah, in single player, I'm just that infantry be covered by an artillery. I'd only have to deal with one player's units trying to interfere. But in multiplayer, I'm moving towards two different players and all their units, so I shouldn't be trying to contest or trying to finish off kills. I should try and get the contested properties that'll be impossible to take.
Yeah,
Take that.
the other thing, right, is like because the map is like kind of choky and it's gonna stall out. If you get the contested city early and like you arty lock it, you never have to like really commit your army to get it again in the future,
Yeah.
which makes your life a lot easier. Like it's gonna be plus 1k for you for like basically the rest of the game, right? So like it's more useful in this scenario for you to finish the capture rather than like finish off the recon. The other thing is like one recon is not really that relevant in the early game because like we have these mountains, right? Also because like there's so many forward bases anyway to reinforce that there's always going to be vision, I think. So trying to like play a really advanced vision game to like deny it probably won't work out in my opinion.
Oh no, no, it's definitely the wrong choice in this situation. In most 1v1s, I would say that's definitely the right choice, especially because there's a
Yeah,
follow up
agreed.
infantry to capture the city.
That's very
You just
good
want to
explanation. What were you about to say, Advanced Warrior?
he just wanted to take his anger out on that recon for delaying his port for a day.
Best meme ever. Kill Raycon, save the planet. Kill Raycon, take out your anger out of someone that tries to steal your port.
Go. I'm wondering, were you at all curious like how I was already so forward with this infantry at this point? Because like if you're looking at the other side of the map, Master Kanbai hasn't even begun capping. Like he's gonna begin capping this turn, and I'm already ready to move out.
Yeah, I expected you to have an infantry there. I just didn't expect there to be an artillery because I knew that you would need to have accelerated your initial infantry, and that's the right call. So I thought that you would have had more of a, I guess, delayed vehicles. But because of how the artillery can be transported by your own island base. It didn't work out well for me.
It's so quiet. Quiet.
Yeah.
Quiet.
Did you guys actually coordinate like the fact that you'd be sending all your vehicles kind of like in the south center area? Because I'm noticing like even Master Kanbai, like all the stuff is kind of here rather than in this area.
We did zero coordination.
True, that's true.
They were just
Well, we had very limited amount of coordination.
they were just establishing their strong side. I'm
No,
curious
for
how this
real,
would.
I'm kind of bad at coordination and I'm kind of bad at teamwork and I need to work on that. And it's in general in life, like it's one of my flaws, but that's always fun. Like I like to hang out with people and doing like video like this one. I think it's my favorite stream I ever done, and I'm not joking because I like the dynamic of you three as guests, and I do like people, but I'm really bad at teamwork.
Oh no, don't get us wrong. This is absolutely fun. Like we're all laughing, we're all having a good time, shitting on each other's mistakes.
I actually like strongly considered shooting the boat in this position.
That would have made me very happy.
Yeah. The reason I didn't was because like okay, so meme wise, like it's penguins, they can swim anyway, so it's not as if
Yeah.
it stops anything.
God.
I have a backup lander too.
But like yeah, on a strategic level, like I just realized okay, they have an artillery here. So I probably want to make sure my tank doesn't instantly die from like
Yeah,
two
yeah.
kindle tanks and like take a shot so it gets reduced damage. And then here I was just like walling up around my artillery so that it makes it impossible for Go7 to actually hit my tank or my artillery because it's in a forest, right? So Go would have to have like I don't know two copters or something, right? Which is impossible at this stage in the game in order to like get close to like hitting my artillery.
So that was a really good turn for you. And looking at the board right now, as I see everything, would you go to say it was the turn you won, or not yet?
I think like it gave me a lot of tempo, but I wouldn't say the game is like over at this stage in the game. And a lot of that is because again like it will stall out fairly easily. So like as long as Go7 can make the right builds moving forward, he can pretty much stop my advance. Like he's never gonna get these cities anyway. Like that's pretty clear.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean like he can't hold his position here. So like if he finished this capture like last turn instead of like going for the recon, I think like he could have easily held this position against me for a really long time until like at least I get my SEOP right.
Yeah.
But before my SEOP, I don't think I could have made any progress.
Yeah. And you, Go
And
7, what do you think about that? I know you never gave up, and I was the one that resigned. But what are your thoughts on right now? How is it looking? Do you think if you did the right thing at that point, you could save it, or it was
Well, I
lost?
think I think this just loses one city,
Okay.
and that's it.
Okay.
So it's not that big of a deal.
Okay.
You just retreat and be okay.
That's very good to know. Let's move on, except if Advanced Warrior has anything else to add.
Nothing really too much to add. Just still a bit surprised that you forfeited the capture. Considering what I said earlier, looking at this turn now, it's very clear, very easy to say that the two center ones are the most contested. The other four that are next to it are like semi-contested, depending on how aggressive each player is. But with my thought process being like, okay, those two cities, I at least try to capture one and try to stall the other. It was, yeah, a bit of a surprise to see you forfeited that.
Yeah, in the team game, it's definitely the wrong call.
It's very quiet. Quiet.
Mistaken order of attack. I think it was because I might have suspected there was a unit in that forest. I attacked with the shoal infantry, 2 stars, 2 terrain stars less than the forest, and the counterattack was a bit nasty. And if I had the com tower, that infantry would be dead. But later on, if I'm like attacking tanks on cities, it would be less pretty.
Yeah.
So another reason why we agreed to let Kantbei have the com tower.
And that's funny. I want to say something here. I did expect battle copters, a rain of battle copters. That's why I already got to anti-air out, and I'm like, he spoke about like 100 battle copters. I was like, oh my, he's probably not joking. So I was like, I need to be ready for the rain of battle copters. But then I realized, man, the likes of Tank is really an abomination. What are everyone thought on that?
Well, knowing you, I understand because you hate my bombers.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Kantbei?
Go
If,
7. Go 7. I never told you the story. Unfortunately, we don't have the replay anymore. But me and Master Kambei were doing a live stream, and we played on a double airport map, and I base skipped like 4 times for 3 bombers.
Wow.
And ever since then, he's built so many anti-airs whenever he's up against me.
Or I create fighter even if I haven't seen his bomber yet. I have my fighter ready. I'm like, I won't get killed by a bomber anymore. No, no, no. And that's funny because
I told you, if you
that's
shot down
only
one of my
him.
bombers, I told you, if you shot down one of my bombers with a missile, I will resign on the spot.
Because
I
you know
told
I
you that, and
ate
it hasn't
missile.
happened yet.
You
No,
know I ate missile. That's why.
just play Sturm and you'll be fine.
Wow. So, yeah, Kantbei, what are your thoughts about the amount of anti-air I already got right now?
I think it's just way too much for this stage of the game. You could have basically known when the forward airport would be taken by just looking at what Go7 is doing, because you can assume like he's going to be doing a reasonable opening, right? Like that's more or less the time you can expect Advanced War to get his.
Yeah.
I guess you might have been a bit scared because I'm playing Eagle, and like Eagle players like spamming copters for some reason. I actually knew that like you really hate air, so like you would build a ton of anti-air. I was kind of expecting it,
Of course,
and
he
for that
hates
reason,
air.
like
He's a penguin.
for that reason, like I only build a copter now, and I think like I even delayed getting like anti-airs and copters. I was playing like super risky with it, and we actually get punished for that. But like I was just thinking, there's no way Master Kanbai gets like copters, right? Or he has like 2 anti-airs for sure, and then he's like gonna have nothing else. So if I just build tanks and artillery, like that should be winning. That was my thought process at this game. It's not like the most optimal way to open, but it's kind of like I was playing against the player rather than playing the map.
Yeah.
Okay. And you,
Oh, I'm sorry.
what were you about to say? Go ahead, and then I will
I
ask
was
you a
about I
seven.
was about to say I think D just said it best when talking about Eagle. He has great air units, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you just focus more on air. One thing that like I'm pretty sure he's like pointed out about why Eagle's so strong is basically his power, but the air unit bonus is like I said, it's just a bonus. Really nice to have defense and some firepower on the copters. I think it's just to like add to his character. Like, yeah, like I said, like lightning strike is obviously a very powerful move, and Kantbei was considering tanks and artillery, and they synergize really well with Eagle Super because you can move an artillery in position and then fire the same turn.
That's very good to know. And you, Go7, what are your thoughts? Is there too many anti-air out in the battlefield on our side?
No, I thought you were going to use those. I thought you were planning to do a fast rush of their HQ, and so you were getting the anti-air to break through the infantry walls that would have to be up on the shoals.
That was actually maybe a plan as well, but it got lost in the translation at some point because I realized like, oh my, there are so many people there. There is no way I can break through an HQ gap. But I think at some point I had that thought process. I was like, maybe I can wall break him and maybe I can like pressure the HQ or something. But it faded away very fast. That thought process.
Yeah, yeah.
That's actually like a really good idea. Double anti-air is like I think one of the only ways you can break through the HQ because like infantry on shows will always die to it. I think unless they're
Yeah,
playing like
Uh,
mighty
and rogues
I'm
as
fine.
well.
Damage calculator.
Yeah.
Uh, I'm I'm
He's got
Von
a
I'm
comm tower.
I'm Von Bolton. He's got a comm tower. So let's see here. So we got Kindle. Let's just say attack on whatever, not in the city, of course. And then like with one comm tower,
Yeah.
you didn't give him keyboard access. Oh no, did you? Oh,
No.
forget it. Anti-air. On a shoal.
So
Yeah,
yeah, it's always a kill, right?
so it's
Yeah.
a kill.
Yeah,
Plus,
so
you can
like
go
he
in
can,
with a push, with a power.
yeah, with the power it should like also kill on planes. But I mean like this is the area really I was thinking where it makes sense to do that.
Yeah.
And if you have two anti-airs, you can break into an artillery fairly easily because like the artillery only covers 3 spaces, right? So you're not gonna put an infantry on the third space away because then it's not covered, and then they can just first hit it.
Yeah.
That infantry is dead.
Yeah. The other thing, right, is like double AA also kind of locks down the airport. So like your only options really to break through is either copter to like hit from a sea, or AA, or like you get a rocket. Like I mean, you can also get like heavy tanks, but no one's gonna do that. It's too expensive at this point.
Yeah. It's very quiet. Quiet.
It's super quiet when you keep doing that.
I don't like it being quiet
Retreat.
because right now there's no music in the background, and it is on purpose because I want my guests to have full control of the sound.
Okay.
Who's the guest?
All of you
You
can
said guest. You said guest without an S. So something tells me you're very specific with something.
Kantbei, Advanced Warrior, Go7.
My guests talking like Adder now. Stop it.
I remember thinking at this point, looking at Advanced War, like maybe he has too many tanks, but I didn't really want to tell him like he had to build more artillery quite yet because I thought he's one bomb, he'll be fine. Like he has +10 defense. I'm sure it's not that easy to break him.
Von Bolt's a very safe CO.
Yeah.
Humble, very good. Would recommend.
Yeah, looking at it now, I 100% should have had a bit more artillery. And
Okay. This is interesting. So like I'm not sure what Master Kanbai is trying to do, but I feel like he just didn't have an overall game plan.
Exactly.
That's why he's kind of like been shifting his units here and then back here. And it's like he's not quite sure what he wants to do yet at this stage in the game.
I
I
don't
mean,
see
it's
that
6.
much target, so I'm like, I don't know what to do. I'm just chilling there. I've got my people ready. I don't know
I
what
feel
to
like you're
do.
having. I feel like you're focusing way too many infantry on that little choke point when you probably could have had some to maybe contest the one city I already captured.
F4 there. I mean, if you can break through, maybe if you brought a lander, that your lander's up, and then just like drop your infantry behind the lines.
Maybe.
I probably
That could
would
be
have
a
resigned
great
there.
idea. I like the idea. Now the slaughter starts with a lot of dead penguins. Let's cry for them.
I mean, it honestly wasn't so bad in the beginning because like I was also giving up a bunch of like tank first hits for some reason in the center. Like I ended up sacking a lot of tanks in the game for like absolutely no reason.
Missile Chan.
What the F is going on? Things are getting spicy. When we see that missile launcher, we are kinda shocked.
So
Oh.
Boy.
um,
Why?
basically like continuing on that line of logic earlier, where like our indirects are really good here, because it's so choky. And the air is gonna be really important in the side because like there's a bunch of sea tiles that only air can engage in anyway. Missile becomes like really really good because it's the only ground unit that can support fights along the sea in air versus
Cruiser.
air.
Carrier.
And well, those are too expensive, right? Also,
Oh my
Yeah.
god,
there's some
about
against
carrier, don't
choppers.
mention them, they don't exist.
What do you mean they don't exist? I
They
play
don't
Drake,
exist.
bro.
No, they don't exist.
I
Don't
play
lie.
Drake.
They don't exist.
Fine.
Keep going,
Fine.
Kantbei.
But yeah, missiles are really cheap. Cruisers just suck against copters because, like, with your airport being so close, like 2 copters beat a cruiser always, and they're about the same cost, and you're gonna have easier reinforce. So I'm not gonna win that fight. So thought I probably need a missile. Carrier would be fun, but I just can't afford it. It's so
Oh wait,
expensive.
I'm so stupid. You're Eagle. That's right.
Yeah.
His weakness is so irrelevant. We forgot about it.
The missile also gets to be in a forest, so it's not like it would be easy to.
Yeah. The other thing is like missile has recon vision, right? It's got 5 vision, little known
Oh yeah.
fact. So like it's also really good. Like if I lose my I did lose. If I lose this recon, then I still have vision with the missile somehow, and then I can like lock the airport. It'll be really safe in the forest. So there's just a lot of good things going for it.
Is Grip was Grip banned here?
Yeah, Grit's banned.
You spent your money
Grit.
well.
So broken.
I was also thinking like at this point I knew I wanted a rocket, and I think I get one pretty soon, because like I realized with triple RT the only answer to this really is like rocket or a battleship. Go7 is not going to build a battleship because his penguins can already swim anyway, so he's going to build a rocket.
Yeah. And just to satisfy him a bit more, Master Kantbei is so boring, and he decided to ban stealths.
Oh,
I hate stealth. They should not exist.
So
Destroy them.
I think I recall
Send
seeing
them
the.
in the paradise. They don't belong in this game.
All right. So I go for the contested property, and I have the artillery covering both the tank and my capturing infantry. And I'm pretty sure that I did see the battlecopter with the recon, which is why I built my own battlecopter, because I can't get an anti-air there in time, assuming that battlecopter decides to go for it.
I see.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I actually agree with like the stealth ban on this map surprisingly, because again like with the missile lock, then you just win outright, because then you just start spamming stealth to kill the base, because like there's nothing they can do once you missile lock, right? Unless like the ally buys a fighter to like help defend, but then that weakens their attack on your airport, and then it's just like you're playing down tempo the whole game. So this is like strangely one of the few maps I think where stealth is actually too obnoxious to not ban.
Don't forget Vandalism in 1v1. You know what I'm talking about, Kantbei, right? You were the one that told me that.
What, vandalism?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know the context of this. I apologize.
Oh, okay, yeah. It took me a while to get it, but yeah, we had a game before where I think like he was trying to siege my one base in vandalism, but I was winning the center, so I just dropped the stealth on him, and he had no answer because like his center airport was dead, and like his airport on the other corner, there's no way like a fighter gets there in time. That was like his only play, and like I shut it down with the stealth.
No offense to you, Master Kantbei, but I know stealths aren't banned in vandalism in Global League, but you two are like leagues apart for this to be Global League. So how the hell did you end up playing a game and forget to ban stealths, or did Kantbei host it?
Kantbei hosts
He
our
actually
games.
hosts,
Kantbei
yeah.
hosted it. You didn't ban stealths against Master Kantbei. Absolute legend.
I mean, I just always use global league settings. I don't really bother otherwise.
What are Global League settings? I just play the game.
Basically, like everything's unbanned except like black bombs and occasionally stealths. But stealths are like there are only a few maps where stealths are banned, except like high funds.
iPhones.
High fun.
I used to
I
like
call
it for a few weeks, and then I gave up on iPhones.
that's on you.
or high funds.
Or high funds. I wonder if it's going to be Master Kantbei that interrupts that cap.
Probably.
Probably
We
will,
will
right?
see. Only future will tell.
Master Combat just goes for like every hit he sees here.
He's bloodthirsty.
I like killing stuff. I like to feel useful for my team. And I like
I'm-
to
I'm-
feel useful for
I also have a little bit of a vendetta for Master Kantbei as well, because he stole my army.
Why did I
Oh,
stole your army? Why?
Because I'm Von Bolt. Two, my second option would be Gray Sky, but then Gray Sky will be facing to the right.
Von
I
Bolt
want to.
doesn't exist. He is fake. He has
About
two
to
missions in the game. Kindle has like 10 games. She should be the leader.
about to drop an Ex Machina on your ass very soon.
Cannot wait to see
Actually,
it.
no, not very soon. I'm only like 1/10 of the way there.
Don't worry, we will see it one day or
How much
another.
movement does that missile have over planes?
2.
Two. It takes two move over planes, and then it
Okay.
has like one move over like shoals.
I
Actually, I
wonder
have a video
if
I like
I
picked
wonder
out
if
the
you were
reason why.
considering. I wonder if you were considering like keeping it in the lander, but I think you probably wanted to ferry some units back and forth. But you do have that second lander there.
I think it's the
Yeah,
same amount.
it doesn't really matter keeping it in the lander because like I think I calculated it would arrive in this forest basically at the same turn in the lander or
Okay.
out the lander anyway, so like it doesn't matter.
Okay.
Because the lander has to go around the little peninsula.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although like one good thing about the lander though is like you can use it to wall for like the artillery, right? That is one thing like I was considering, but in the end like I didn't go for it until like later in the game.
This is so quiet. What you have
Yes.
to add, Go7? You're the funniest among us.
Rocket Chan.
You
Okay.
interrupted my lab captures. Just telling me have anything. Terrible player.
Here I am, just relaxing on my lab. Then all of a sudden, a red fire guy just comes and tries to invade.
Look at the trade you got too.
Awful.
I
Even
was
with
just
the
thinking at
counter.
that point, I want to like make sure Advanced Warrior gets the city, so I just like I'm gonna yeet my infantry.
Once I got once I got that city under control, then the income advantage was just gonna go to us and forcing you guys to respond. This was basically the only thing I could do with my battlecopter, and Waplow, Von
Ooh.
Bolt.
Do you see
Von
now the
Bolt.
use of 20 anti-air? Juicy ones, right?
Yeah, anti-air then proceeds to die to tank, and I just have another tank. I have artillery. What are we looking at here?
Could you actually have like killed the copter with like the 5 HP recon? I think that's what I was suggesting
Yeah.
earlier in the game.
So
I feel like if I did use the recon, maybe it would have been broken through, and I would be in a bit of trouble.
But then you put like the tank in front of the recon, right? So like it
I
protects.
guess.
I guess
I
you
don't
want
think
the
a 5 health
recon
recon can do
here and the copter
that much
there.
damage to a copter.
Let's also not forget there's like
Yeah.
could have been some chip damage. I don't have a com tower.
Boom. You don't
I
need
I
a
I
tower,
I,
you
I,
are right.
I already have a com tower. It's called a day to day. I am Javier, but there is a com tower installed in me. I just have a shitty super CO power.
So here, if you
Dude.
eye roll and I am at 11 HP, you kill me.
Okay, it probably doesn't work then.
No.
Yeah.
But it's interesting to see.
I definitely felt more confident attacking with the tank than the recon. Oh, I
So,
took over he was evicted out of the lab. I just decided to take over.
I know.
Bro, we are doing Go7 so nasty right now.
how do you feel with your penguin, Go7? Do you like to be bullied?
They were very much picked on. It was
She's dude. Go7's gonna message me in the middle of the night, and he said, "Meet me at said map, said date, said time."
Oh.
He's just gonna kick ass with his penguins. I know that's gonna happen too. But speaking of the game, yeah, I do kind of like that. Like at the little choke points, we have Go7 against Kantbei, and on the top we do have me going up against Master Kantbei, and then a little bit of mixed assault in the middle. Yeah, it was. Yeah, that's. I found it very interesting that we did have the amateurs against the amateurs, the top players against the top players. I wonder how it would have gone if we like swapped it a little bit.
Worst. I can tell. Worst.
The stall would have been
I
even
think
worse.
the most interesting dynamic you get is if you get the strong player fighting into the the HQ of the weak player, right? What I mean by that is like if I'm here, then it should be Master Kanbei here, and then
Yep.
Go7 is here fighting into Advanced Wire, right? So like you have the weaker player defending, and like it's slightly easier to defend on this map because again, like reinforcement lines are so easy. There's so much choke points. You can get indirects and like stall it out. But at the same time, like you have to recognize those strategic opportunities and make those correct builds at the correct time. So like it's not hard to do, but if you delay too long, then you can get into like really tricky positions.
This is good to know. Thank you for the heads up.
Got a little bit of a checker formation with the tank there. Ooh, battlecopter. I don't think we have an answer for that.
After
Yeah,
the
we
revenge of the Sith, welcome to the revenge of the Penguin.
Revenge of the
I
Penguins.
can't believe I didn't get
Hey,
that kill.
I'm honestly a bit surprised that battlecopter even exists. It's like the five penguins in those battlecopters who are embracing the ability to fly.
So here I got a question for our favorite penguin player. Why
That's
double
me.
artery?
Why not?
Well, because I need to stall.
That's a good reason. That's a
He's
very good
protected.
reason. I like it.
I'm protecting your HQ.
He got evicted from his lab, and he needs a place to stay, bro.
I kind of like that reason. That's actually a very good reason. Good job, bro.
I mean, plus it's a nice looking tower too.
I don't
It's like
want
a
my
rock.
tower to be captured.
It's like a rocket with arms.
Look at the bright side, Go7. You're about to get Urban Blight. You will be the first
Yeah.
Urban Blight of this game.
I also do want to say that artillery on the top is so annoying.
Oh,
The
really? It
one in the
is?
city.
Hmm.
It's your Kindle. If you're any other CO, fine, but your Kindle and man,
Let
Kindle artillery will basically just one shot anything on the shoal, I think, except like a medium tank. But even then, it hurts a lot.
it's a very good value for
I
that
think
artillery to
medium
get a
tank
shot off. I mean,
fall to like maybe 1 HP or 2 HP.
maybe. Speaking of medium tanks, it probably might be nice, but you could just see how clumped we are already with the unit of mount. Was there a unit cap to this?
It was
100.
100 units,
Okay.
which is why I
Okay.
said like in the all chat, I was shit posting and saying like, oh, we're just gonna build 50 mega tanks and 50 copters.
100 units.
That's
100
also what
units.
scared me off because I was like, maybe Kanbai was joking, but he was really doing it. So I was like, let's spam anti-air. We will make sure this doesn't happen.
I remember some of my friends are joking on like turn 7. They're just like, "Oh my!" It's just like I'm just moving my turn 7 Neo tank. Then I play against Master Kantbei, who's already played with Kantbei, and he gives me a fucking heart attack with a turn 7 Neo tank. So screw you, Kantbei. You gave me a heart attack. uh,
The best opening
I,
ever.
I think at
I will
this
put the replay
point
in the.
we weren't talking that much about like what we're planning to do in the center, and like after I moved, we then decided like it's best if we pull back this turn. I think.
Yeah, because like in most battles, the main priority is just like capturing properties to gain a lead, and yeah,
Yeah,
once
once
we
we got
got,
that city, we were like, okay, we don't need to stay here and fight. So like, let's just pull back. And I think
and
that's
this is where you begin to see my failure in meter management and forgetting that the lab is a property.
Advance War! You just did a war crime. Look at that empty base. War crime!
Hey, didn't Kantbei approve of my base skip?
yeah, I did tell you like the base skip here is fine. Like you can go double AA because like At this point, I think we were panicking slightly about like having no answers to copters because we weren't expecting it, and they had like four
Had a-
copters out already, and we have zero AA. We're only just now starting to build it, and we have like one list how to answer it.
Cardinal sin to day 12 anti-air. Ah, man. I hope D just watches this. Please notice me.
I hope he does
Oh
as
my
well.
god, that copter was so annoying.
So many units.
Oh.
So
Go,
many
didn't
units.
it start to feel a bit cloggy in the pipes? Actually, no, I take that back. No, you're fine. Me, I'm sweating because I have 2 lava tiles on my little choke point. I have 2 lava tiles on my choke, but I guess I'll still ask you: didn't it start to feel a little bit clumped in the pipe
Oh,
seam areas?
it was definitely claustrophobic.
Oh yeah, definitely. But like I said, you got to breathe easier. I didn't.
You
I
had
had
a
2
juicy urban blight, Go7. I do
I
like
had
it a
2
lot.
I had 2 lava
Oh, yeah.
tiles.
Here, I was actually thinking like, am I gonna take this copter engagement so close to Go7's airport? In the end, I decided to go for it because again, penguins weren't meant to fly, so
Yeah,
I
and
had natural
you're
advantage.
eagle.
Yeah. Also, like my
I mean,
missile was coming in soon, so like maybe you get tricked into like staying in that fight too long. You don't see my missile, and I get like 2 hits with my superpower or something.
yeah. But then you tell me that you have a missile, and I'm like, well, it'd be so rude to not play into the missile.
Oh, giving Missile Chan some love. You hear it? You hear it first, ladies and gentlemen. Go7 respects your missiles. So build them when you face them in Global League.
Yeah. I'll let you get free lightning strike missiles.
Free lightning strike missile. No, just a free missile. Ask him to build a bomber, and he'll put it right in front of your missile. All right, so artillery. The only thing I could attack that was worth value was the city, and of course I go for that. Also, I love the artillery placement of my top artillery because I got
So,
to shoot that
question
anti-air.
for the pros. Being overly aggressive the way Advanced Warrior is right now, is it a good idea when Kindle is about to pop Urban Blight and placing that juicy tank on a building? Is it
I just
really
I
good?
just had
This
terrible
is a
meter
very
management.
a very leading question, I must say.
Go7 Kantbei anybody? Is it a good turn for Advanced Warrior or it's not? I am wondering.
Um, I honestly thought it was fine when I saw this turn. The thing is, like, he's one bolt, so I wasn't even sure like if you could dislodge this tank necessarily with like artillery and like your power. If it takes like artillery or power and like maybe the recon, that should be fine. The other thing is like anyway, he's just losing tanks. Tanks are kind of like getting worthless on this kind of like map state. There's just too much infantry, too much artillery. So if you lose
Uh,
tanks, it's not the worst thing in the world.
yeah,
So I thought it was okay.
considering there's also like 4 tiles that I can attack where my tanks are.
Everything in the middle just goes to die.
So,
So I
Go7,
mean, it's not great. If
what
it was
is
a
your
one v
full
one game,
take?
I would not
We
say
had a
that.
full take of Kanbai. What is your full take?
I think that the units are probably being sent to their death, but in a 2v2 with such a small choke, it doesn't really matter.
Okay, that's
If
interesting.
this was one,
So,
if this was 1v1, then this would be a very bold play.
okay, so
Yeah.
because it's a team play, it's fine. I kind of like it. I like that kind of insight. We learn more about team play in this stream.
No, I absolutely wasn't perfect. Like considering that I tried to repair my anti-air against double Kindle.
Yeah, that was, I think, one thing like I was warning you about. Like I was telling you, don't overproduce anything on the
rightfully
city.
so. Rightfully so. Oh, listen, I'm used to going up against Kindle, but I'm not used to going up against double Kindle. You know what they say: two negatives cancel each other out. Not in this situation. Oh my god, I am face palming so hard on the fact that cities are lava.
I think Master Khan
Uh,
getting a good attack here. Yeah, that
oh my god,
kills one tank. Oh wow, you one shot it.
Yeah,
That's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
it's a it's an urban blight anti-air. I
yeah.
don't know what else to tell you. I don't know what else to tell you, guy.
But it's one bolt. Like I'm used to one bolt just never dying when you want him to.
Vaughn bolts
And
and you
then
die.
two tank vanish
He's
just
on a
like that.
road.
Oh my god! Just imagine. Oh, hey, welcome to Advance Wars, where in Kantbai's mind, one damage, one defense can hold off against 80 attack power. I think next turn was the turn when I made a huge mistake.
The war crime of the day, right after
No.
that
The war
base skipping, and right after that missile launcher that is actually a good missile launcher. Oh my, I can't believe what I see. A good missile
So when
launcher.
when I try to repair my anti-air, what are you doing? Putting your rocket on a city?
That was
Okay.
definitely a mistake, but it's okay since
Okay.
I saw I was gonna get superpower like pretty soon, like either the next turn or the turn after that. I can just move it off the city and like or like fire twice. It'll be fine.
So let's just move on with this turn. I will call out my mistake when it happens.
Okay.
You will. So I do. I'm a bit surprised that survived, but you do have your power up, so I understand that.
Did you just
And
give me
so,
Impressive.
an anti-air? Oh, this is a juicy artillery shot here.
well, I also crippled your battlecopter, so that was some value.
I guess it's fair. It's fair, yeah. It's
Oh,
not
I killed
bad.
it. Nice. I moved the wrong lander because my anti-air is on the other lander.
Oh no.
This is amazing.
My top lander was the one I wanted to put an anti-air in.
Look at the
Well,
units that are in those landers. There's a penguin
A
and a
recon
black
from
hole
Master
recon.
Kantbei.
listen, I heard. I listen. No, listen. This is what do they call this? What do they call this? Do they call this like family therapy, whatever? I decided to put it in my hands to bring those two together and discuss their problems. Remember, sharing is caring. So I just wanted to, what do they call it? Like couples counseling. So it's like, yeah, I understand. They both had a rivalry, but it doesn't always have to end like that. Oh shit, yeah. It's not my army, but honestly, seeing that scared me just a little bit. But honestly, you really didn't have any big follow up for that little wall break on the bottom.
And then yeah, I made sure to build the bottle copter for the missile, and have the other one in range as well.
Let's also talk about your artillery placement on the island. Actually, not a terrible spot.
It's doing its best.
Why didn't we consider Jake Kantbei?
Actually, Jake, unironically, might have been a good pick. Now that I'm looking at this again, because like you can just COP spam here, right, and pretend you're great.
You don't need the super. You just need one extra range on the artillery, and you actually can get some value.
You become
Yeah, like
basically great
Jake's
for a day.
super here is
Yeah.
like Jake's super here is definitely worse than his COP. Like for sure, you want to spam the COP as Jake here.
Yeah. I just thought of something. I believe we were very blind when it came to what was behind the HQ side. Maybe not for Kent by now because he has the missile, but it just made me think like, what if we had flares in this game? Flares would be absolutely broken on this map.
Probably. Maybe.
For those of you who don't know, the flare is a vehicle in Days of Ruin, and you can actually shoot a 5 tile diameter wide missile, and it will actually reveal what's in the area, even the hidden tiles. So you just kept shooting a
Wow.
flare inside the HQ. You can see everything that's in there.
That would be
I think
very
this.
strong.
I think to
Oh
the
wait,
surprise of no one, this is actually the turn we won because this is the turn I got my lightning strike.
Yeah.
oh wait,
yeah.
did Go7 just say wow to the flare?
Yeah, I haven't played any of the Advance Wars games.
Let me
Oh,
introduce you to
really?
Tiny
Go
Wars
7.
after the
Oh,
stream.
oh my, Go 7.
I know. I was so surprised.
We
I'm like,
one
wait,
day,
you've never played? Oh yes.
Nope.
One day we all collab and watch Go7 play Advanced Wars.
or we could do like, since it seemed to work with 4 players parsec, maybe just maybe we could try another day
Lightning strike.
some dual strike at 4
Oh my
players,
god.
breaking
No,
parsec apart.
dude, no, dude. Listen, Go7 doesn't know about the dual strike mechanic. Do not show him the dual strike mechanic.
What
No, we
tag?
won't show
I
him.
know.
We
I know
will show him
tag.
the skills.
No, not
Are you
tag,
kidding
dual
me?
strike.
Tag is shit.
Oh.
We will
oh.
play with skills.
Oh yeah, we're
Do you
like,
know what skills are, Kantbei?
Yeah, I do. I played
yeah.
duels.
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure the only person who hasn't played an Advanced Wars game is Go7. By the way, exposed.
Yeah, so
I've been very
we
open
need
of
to
my.
introduce Go7 to like OP skills in Dual Strike.
I will be willing to watch Go7 play a single player of Advanced Wars and watch him but watch him use online tactics against AI.
I don't know how well it will work. Isn't it mostly like pre-deployed maps?
It depends.
Some are mixed with pre-deployed and bases.
It depends. Like half of the campaign is pre-deployed, and the other half is like base and airport and port and stuff. But there's also the war room. The war room is basically only base stuff.
I am going to put in my bucket list to collab with Go7 to watch him play Advanced Wars single player.
I do have a Switch and a capture card. I did have plans to play the
Reboot. Oh, you're gonna play
the
Reboot Camp. Oh yeah, the tutorial is very different. I've noticed. We'll know when it comes out.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for that day. Oh, counter rocket. Go7 has the counter rocket. Charge.
With a base skip.
Put it on the city too.
I do base skip for it.
Yeah.
Hold on, wait. Can we give it a second? Can we give it a second? No? Master Kantbei, what the
Base
hell?
skip, war crime.
Okay, there we go. I was about to say, there's some obvious
7.
favoritism.
I was right.
I had to
The
do
war
it.
crime. I was right earlier.
I had
I
to
mean-
do it to save you.
I also skipped, but for no apparent reason. Like
We
I think
all committed war crimes.
I'm the only one that doesn't do war crime. Why? I feel so lonely. Why do I respect Advance Wars rule and guys don't? This is the secret to become better. Breaking rules.
Says-
the secret is like you can base skip, but only when you get better.
Oh, thank you. That's what I keep saying. That's why I keep saying. It's like don't base skip unless you know what you're doing.
This is sad.
That's what I always tell people.
I am
Don't base skip
crying
unless you know.
inside of me. Guys are breaking so many rules.
I was
Well,
surprised you didn't super here.
I mean, you could keep.
Didn't use your power here.
I will be here. Because I'm not Go7. No, I will be honest. I feel like the moment you have Urban Blight, it can be good to use it. However, there's a big however. People expect it. So sometimes I like to hold my Urban Blight and throw it at a moment people are like, what the F is going on? Or sometimes I like to spam
Mm-hmm.
2 Urban Blight in a row. So I think just using Urban Blight the time I get it is the lazy way to play, and it feels like just mashing a button, just like playing any global damage CO, which is kind of boring for me. But hey, sometimes I do, and sometimes I don't. And here is a good example of me charging up my meter. And the second reason would be, I see Ex Machina, I'm scared, and I'm like, he may give me my Eye Society so I can spam 2 Urban Blight in a row.
True.
Yeah. Urban Blight's very interesting when you're using it in fog. I'm sure Kantbei would agree on me when I say this. When you're playing as Kindle and Fog and you have Urban Blight, use Urban Blight mainly for the things that you can see, such as like if you see the more contested properties, you see an enemy unit that you would like damage that's on a city, yeah, pop Urban Blight. If you see a unit adjacent to a city and you're able to attack it, then yeah, go ahead, use Urban Blight. Don't try to use Urban Blight to try to drain income from your opponent's bases, because there's some people that can expect it and build like infantry. Might slow down their tempo just a little bit, but if you're trying to drain income with Urban Blight, I think that's the weakest way to use it.
People will just not build stuff sometimes, and your urban blight will drop in strength.
And Fog, I mainly use Urban Blight for the plus 80% on properties.
But
Yeah, I
what
will
what are
say
your
on this
what are your
in this
thoughts, Go7? Do you think I did the right thing to hold my meter, or should I've used my urban blight at that point?
Oh, it's fine to hold your meter. I just thought you'd want to use it so you could break through the lander.
Oh, that's actually interesting, but oh, you're right. So if you were in my position, you would have used it to break the lander.
Yeah,
Oh,
because
that's cool.
because
Yeah.
you know that they've invested so much trying to break through towards your HQ. So if you're using, you can use your power to both slow that down, but also to break into their HQ. Like if you look
That's
at the
cool.
stats right now, you've got the most stuff out of anyone in the game.
At that point, I knew we lost. I think I knew it like from day 14, but now I see your base getting slapped soon, and your airport getting locked, and I was like, oh, we lost. But looking back, that's actually really smart. If I would have used my urban blight, breaking that wall could have been great. Wow, thank
Oh,
you
that
for
would
that
have.
insight. Thank you a lot for
Uh,
that insight. I did like it a lot, man. Go7, this is
I
why
mean,
you're there. You're an amazing guest, even if we have laugh. I respect you a lot, and I know you deserve your place in top 10 and 20.
yeah,
So,
yeah, Urban Blight that definitely would have probably checked my lander, exposed my artillery, and that would have been a nasty little break there.
fine to
yeah,
save it.
well, not quite. So like he will get vision of the artillery, but he can't shoot it because it's in a forest, right? And he doesn't have an artillery in this forest ready to like pounce on it. So this is why like I kept one artillery here always, because I knew like basically this artillery always zones out this artillery once you can break through. And like you can only break through towards the HQ. The HQ can't break out, like generally speaking. So this is why like this forest is really important to control this forest, and then this forest controls the rest of this, right? So like
Uh,
that's how you make progress. It's still like really hard though. Like I think
yeah,
if I'm not playing Eagle here, I don't know how I would break through at all.
yeah.
Go
And
seven.
then
Go seven had the right idea very early in the game. It's just that he was on the other side.
and then once you break through, they can just hold the HQ from across the other way. So
Yeah.
it's uh it's definitely a stall fest. But that's why you had like plenty of time to do whatever you wanted up there, because like I can artillery and missile and rocket lock your
So,
HQ very easily.
what I
Kenpai's
can.
just daring you to build a helicopter.
If if guys are
Feed the
interested
missile.
for another collab like that, another 2v2 like that, what could be great is Go7 and Kanbei look into the 2v2 maps, and you could suggest the next one. That could be very interesting for the next time, if there is a next time. What do you think about
Yeah.
that, Go7 and Kanbei?
I mean, I'm down for it. I'm not sure what the good 2v2 maps are though. Would you guys
Probably.
want fog or standard?
And you, Kanbei?
Uh, I feel like there would be a better chance to find good 2v2 maps in standard rather than fog. Just saying.
Fog. Even if it's a
Fog.
standard
Okay.
map, we do not care.
I know like there are some pretty good fog 2v2 maps and also like good standard 2v2 maps. I will have to like give it a look. but I know they exist because I've played on them before. One of the interesting ones I've played before is like it's 2v2, but it's also like mixed base. So like everyone's
Ooh.
fighting everyone kind of thing.
Yeah, mixed
That
space is
could be
pretty good actually to play.
interesting. So that's your homework for next time, can't buy.
Uh,
Mixed space scares the crap out of me.
I have a lot of
Missile
fun in it. It's
Chan!
sad it's not in Global League.
Missile
I wish
Chan!
we had a faction like a fourth section with mixed base in it.
Urban Blight.
My favorite
Then
maps in iPhones are the maps with four bases because it gives a new vibe, a new fresh vibe with the maps and the gameplay and how you manage your funds and your units. So that's one of the reasons why I kind of stick to iPhone for like a few weeks. But when I realized there were also like light-based map in iPhones, I was like, what the I have money, I want to spend my money.
you have like a hate boner for light base.
Light base is as disgusting as mirror matches. It's actually
well,
worst. And this rotation in fog, there's three light base, and it's disgusting. But hey, one of my favorite map is back into the rotation.
Oh, we were discussing heavily about this Ex Machina.
Yeah, like we were wondering for a long time if we should fire it here or hold it. Cause like we were pretty sure, cause like Go7 typed in all chat, we should move our landers together to divert the Ex Machina.
yeah.
Which was another
So
misplay. Why didn't you guys create your use your DMs or
We had
something?
one. It's just that Go7 was like, "Oh, let's chill in the chat with the other three."
It's fine though. I mean,
Yeah, it's
when
fine.
I saw that, I was
I'm sure you
actually,
guys anticipated us using Landers as a magnet. So
I mean, yeah, but when I saw that chat, I was actually thinking like, are they trying to like mind game us here, and like they're not actually gonna do it? So like we end up holding the Ex Machina, like they end up not having to do
forever,
anything.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
then we actually really did it, but my lander was out of fuel, and I forgot the chat, and more than that, I knew I lost, so I was like, I will save my lander. My people won't die like that.
Um, I actually like didn't realize like the Ex Machina would hit her. Like I didn't believe it would hit the rocket. So if I had known that, I could have pushed all my indirects forward, like rocket here, artillery here, and then I think the game just ends at that point. Because like I think I have a forced HQ cap, possibly like 4 or 5 turns down the line, but it's all like you can play out the optimal move and it will always just work.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
because
I was surprised.
yeah, I didn't believe like the Von Bolt SEOP would hit here. I was playing a bit more conservatively.
Yeah, one minor thing that did kind of hurt us is that Can't Buy went before me. I think if I went before Can't Buy, then our team dynamic definitely would have been a lot stronger. I tried to repair again. Oh my god!
So many repairs.
So many
I remember
repairs.
seeing that and just going like, why would you try to repair? Because like Master Kanbai has his COP still, right? Because like he had his full bar.
I'm used to
That was
fighting
Go
one
7.
Kindle. Please, that's why. Please. You okay? I understand. You don't need to tear
And
me
and
a new asshole.
and
Okay, listen.
and you
I
know Go7, you will just use it.
I wasn't paying attention to meter. I have horrible meter management. That's how I almost lost a victory march. Okay,
So I
but
think this is the
yeah,
point where I resign. I think if it's not this turn, it's the next turn.
Yeah,
But
it should be like the next round, I believe. But yeah, like
should be the
from here
next
the
turn.
game's fairly over. Like yes, if you really wanted to, you could stall it out. But again, like the CO picks go against you. You've
yeah,
already lost like, the important contested properties. You're down tempo, so it's kind of like we could play it out, but it's going to be like really painful for everyone involved.
yeah.
Yeah.
It was. Yeah, it
That's
was.
funny because like I think it's by day 17 or 18 I sent a message to Go7. I'm like, can we really win this? Like I trust you, Go7, and he's like, I trust you. And I'm like, why do you trust me? But it's in character with
It was,
Go7 because Go7 is a really great guy and he believes in everyone despite of the circumstance. Am I right, Go7? You can develop on
Uh,
that because I know this is what you said the first time we had a collab together. You said that you explained that with your quote.
I do believe in everyone, but
no, the
I
replay
thought you
bugged
still had
out.
I thought you still had a lot of army up there, and I figured you'd want to, fight it out.
So, the replay looked like it bugged for Kantbei. This a GG here.
Yeah. So yes, it bugged out.
Just gonna view the last couple turns. Don't. Yeah, for some reason it's like still buggy. If you click too fast, then stuff like this happens. But yeah, it's just we're censoring the blood and gore that you see me committing on Sarkame on the top.
Yeah.
Just shot down some astronauts. Yeah.
I
So
was
what is
actually
that?
like surprised by the missile build here from Go7. I didn't think like he would go for it, although it's like absolutely like the correct play for him to hold this position. I just didn't think he'd realize it.
Wow,
Wow.
rude.
Wow. Oh,
Go
some bad
seven
blood.
getting roasted. So Go7 next time around, make your team win.
I am setting. I am setting up a 1v1 between these two, and I'm watching the entire damn match.
Oh, we've had many 1v1s.
Yeah,
I'm
I
pretty
know.
sure.
I know the both of you are like really strong. That's why, but the both of you are there, and the both of you are like my favorite guests with Advanced Warriors. It's like the dream collab right now.
Wait, what do you mean with Advanced Warrior? Am I your third favorite or something?
Ah, you're somewhere there. I will not say which position you're in,
Uh,
but
I
you're
think the site
somewhere
is up for
there.
me. I can't move anything.
No, the replays. Well, it is 2:30, but
Yeah,
either the site is down or the replay is like completely bugged. But yeah, this is
the site is
we already said
obviously
it many times. This was GG.
so.
Yeah, if you click too fast, you're sending too many requests to the server, and they lock you out, so that you
So
can't be a curious individual.
I
let's
think Kantbei saying that there might be a maintenance.
not at that time. Oh,
Oh
what is
shoot, he
going on?
left. He just disconnected.
No, we lost one of us.
Oh no!
No, I'm getting 2v1
Can't
now.
buy. Where are you? Can't buy.
I
The
can't
tables have
find.
turned. Oh, you're
Can't find. Please help me. They're 2v1ing me.
Can't buy. Are you there?
He is back, but I'm pretty sure everything's just really slow. So let's just be patient with him.
Um,
Okay, so
I am trying.
okay, I will
Yeah.
remove the mouse control now because I think it's pretty much over that part of the video. Now, um, let's go on with a closing thought on this amazing game. Can't buy. Looking back, what do you think about this game we played? What should be worked on? And are you looking forward to do more like these?
I thought it was a really fun game. So like I think again like the map is stally, but again because like you and Advanced Warrior didn't like know that in the beginning, you guys kind of went tank heavy, so like it just makes the game more dynamic. This would be a lot less fun if it was like four really good players at the beginning, because we'd all just like build artillery and like the whole map would just be artillery and infantry by like day 12, and then nothing would happen.
That's very good to know. Is there anything else you would like to add before I pass the microphone to Advanced Warrior?
Oh no, wait. Question: did you just say that Masakembe was tank heavy?
I was anti-air heavy.
Do you see how many anti-airs this kid has?
Okay.
Well, anti-airs are kind of tank if you think about it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there are
just
weaker tanks
against.
that are specific to air units. I can
Yeah,
agree with
just
you,
against an.
Kanpai. You're right.
Yeah, just against another tank, it's not so strong.
Advanced Warrior, what are your closing thoughts?
I was probably the worst player on this map. I mean, yeah, I still had a good time. Definitely, I do feel like there were times I probably might have made Kantbei a bit frustrated, considering some things I was forgetting to do on the micro level, such as attempting to repair some of my units. But like I said, I did like how the game turned out. We had like I said, the amateurs facing each other. Then we had like the top players against each other, and then and then a little bit of a scuffle here in the middle. Um, this map was definitely not compatible for fog, but we were just having fun. It's more compatible for if Go7 makes the change fogless.
Yeah.
I will stand by your side on that, Go7.
Thank you, thank you.
So, closing thought with Go7.
All right. When I think of the map or the game,
The game, the
Um,
map, everything. It's
What you think
like
of what you
it's
think of
like
us?
it's like did you enjoy your time? It's like yeah, was it
oh
fun
yeah, I
for
had lots
you?
of fun.
And since it's closing dot, it's anything you would like to add on, like strats, the game, the map. What did you enjoy? What didn't enjoy? Me like snatching your building and then realizing it.
that
This is
that that
closing
that
thought
kind of
now.
stuff just happens. That's part of team play. Um, I did enjoy the game. It was a lot of fun. I made I definitely focused more on the fun than trying to get sweaty with it. Uh, but I think the map definitely isn't great for 2v2 when you have so many bases on such a small landmass. With such small chokes, especially with forests that are covering the chokes, so that you can have indirects that are almost impossible to kick out of there unless of course you're eagle when you get your double turns.
That's very
But
good
it
to
was a
know.
lot of fun.
There was a lot of fun. That's the point of it. That's why I knew from the get go it would be a great stream having all of you, and I was a lot of stressed out about will we be able to do that? Will everyone be free at the same time, the same day, so we could do that kind of stuff? That was
Yep,
my
yep.
only worry, but I think that was amazing time. I had a blast, and we will do that again in the future if guys are willing to, and we will mix around the teams. And I'm thinking also about maybe changing COs so we don't end up with the same kind of matchup. That could be very interesting. Anybody else would like to add something more?
We are banning double COs.
No, I like double COs.
No,
oh, oh,
I
oh.
do. You want to go, bro?
Look, double Kindle was very funny. I
Double.
I
Okay,
enjoyed
yeah,
my
it's
time a
fun.
lot.
It's funny. It's funny when you push the buttons. It's not so funny when
Yeah,
you're on the receiving end.
go with double Vumble. I don't think it will be as good, but that's just me.
No, Dumble Vubble's amazing. I mean, it's nice to see more than one Ex Machina every once in a while.
I don't. I think between double Kindle and double Vumble, I think double Kindle is clearly better than double Vumble, but that's just me. Any thought the good players Kantbei and Go7?
What about me?
You're good, but you're not like top 20. Let's be
But
honest.
you didn't say top 20 player. You said good player, and I'm just like, do I qualify? Because I don't want to boost my own ego.
I think double Kindle would probably beat double Vumbled on this map because
Yeah.
the lander magnet would work for 3 supers.
Let's go double Jake then.
Yeah.
Spam our cop.
Yeah. That could be fair. That could be great. Now, I'd like
Honestly,
to.
double ratio might be fun, like double ratio versus double Kindle.
Six missiles.
Yeah.
Let's just
That
drop
looks
six
crazy.
missiles.
That
Let's
looks
just drop
crazy.
six
Maybe it will be
missiles.
part two. Maybe it
Double
will be
Maybe
Drake
it
would be
part
a
would.
lot of
two.
Maybe double Drake. Oh my god! And just drain the fuel
No, no,
over
no,
and
no, no,
over.
no, 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 no,
Oh my
no,
god.
no.
Okay, okay. We just have to make sure if we're ever playing Rachel, don't give it to me because Master Kambai will, excuse my language, bitch about me using Lucky Lass.
because I know you will. Oh, speaking about Lucky Last, you're the one
He
that brought
he
it.
hates he
Shame on
hates
you.
Lucky Last so much.
Can't buy
Shame on me.
can't buy in Go7. What about Lucky Lash? Is it good or trash?
Okay. Last time I played Rachel, I was up against Andy.
Well,
It's good against
that's a
Andy.
specific matchup, but when you fought me, I wasn't Indy.
That's because there was a glitch in the replay. I
No,
saw
no,
an
no, no.
infantry I
You still
shouldn't
did
have.
the Lucky Lash. Thought on Lucky Lash can't buy and Go7 before we leave.
Oh, oh my god.
I think it's an okay power. The problem is like Lucky Lass is just much
Inconsistent.
worse than the super power, right? And it's also inconsistent, which makes it worse than the super. But there are situations where like popping Lucky Lass is really good. Like one example is if your opponent takes a lot of attacks or places a lot of tanks on shoals or roads, because being on low defense makes the luck really really good. A Lucky Last Racial with like one tower has a really good chance of doing a one hit KO against an enemy tank on shoals or road. So there are situations where it's good, right? And against Andy, I think Racial does want to use Lucky Last over the SUP.
Yeah, that's the only case.
There's also if your opponent is good and they're playing around your super with units being delayed to redirect rockets, then you can charge up to your super and then use your Lucky Lass instead when they have units that are out of the fight that wouldn't normally be out of the fight.
That's good response. As I said, I thank all of you. That was amazing. That was hands down my favorite stream ever. That was very fun, and I appreciate you being there. That was amazing. And we will do it again if you guys are willing to. And
Yeah.
I'd like to ask anybody that came in, thank you for watching. And Advanced Warrior channel is in the description below. Kantbei, did you started working on your channel or not yet?
No, not yet.
And Go7, will you plan on making your own channel?
I
You
have my
haven't
own
watched
channel.
his channel yet?
Oh, maybe I
Wow,
did and I
rude.
forgot about that. That's
Wow,
like me.
rude.
I
Rude.
have
No,
my own
no, no.
channel.
It's not. It's
I've
not
got a whole two
disrespecting.
videos.
It's just I have such a bad memory. Like
No
sometimes I
worries.
say something, I see something, and then I forget about it. Like I almost about I forgot about channel of people, and that's nothing
It's
personal.
okay.
It's
It's okay.
so
I
you have
will
a channel ready now, right?
Yeah, I
Oh,
have
I
two.
will link it. I will link it in the description below.
Sure.
I completely forgot. Sorry, man. It's
I,
Sure. I'll
I,
just
I
send.
will I will claim the title of the first birdie of Go Seven's army.
so Go7. If you want a guest like me, don't hesitate, man. You were a great guest on my channel, so don't hesitate to ask if you want me around on your channel.
Okay.
So
I have a replay commentary and the Cobalt Ice anthem on
I
my
will take a
channel.
look at it. If you have one and I knew it before, I am sure I have seen it, but I just forgot about it because is it
Don't worry
new?
about it. It's relatively new.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the
Two
thing. So
videos and a replay commentary.
So thank you again, and I feel so sorry and bad. Like I forgot about your channel. I have bad
It's
memory.
okay.
I have
Fake
bad memory.
fan.
I
Hey,
remember
I'm
man.
you
kidding. I'm
being a
kidding.
great guest, but I don't remember you having a channel.
I didn't have a channel at that point. No, no,
Oh,
no. I have a
that's
whole
why.
28 subscribers. Oh my goodness.
That's why.
I mean, you're Go freaking
So
seven.
thank you, everyone. And as I said, like, comment, and subscribe. And right after the stream, I will link Go7 channel in the description of this video and this stream as well, so everyone can go take a look. Go7, thank you. Can't buy, thank you. And Advanced Warrior, thank you as well.
Absolutely.
So now I will kick everyone out.
Okay.